Hey guys, this is Backlog Gaming back with another anime recap. Today we are going to be covering Gate Episode 3. The name of this episode is Fire Dragon. Now, in this episode, they appear that they take the elf with them. They rescue her from the well that we were discussing in our previous recap. When they do that, they take her to the nearest city that's back the way they came. Now, once they get there, they realize that group of individuals in that village are evacuating strictly because once the dragon has tasted human flesh, apparently from there it's going to keep hunting for more. So you have the village all packing up their belongings and into wagons, because that's what they use to transport goods, and then from there they are going ahead and starting to evacuate the city. Now we also get introduced into some interesting characters here. We get to see a mage that is a girl type. We also get to see her master that is a sage, apparently. Now, the two character names are, for the magic girl that's using magic, is Lily, and for her actual, I'm looking at my notes here, for her actual sage, his name is Kato Altenstan, is what I have written down. Now, these two individuals are kind of funny. He wants to bring all the books, and he's upset about the dragon, but she says you can only bring so much because they only have one horse to pull the wagon. She does use a spell to make the wagon and lift up. Once that happens, it obviously makes it easier for the horse to pull, and they start going. Well, they get to the point where they come across basically a wagon jam, per se, to where somebody's axle broke, and then from there their wagon's not moving. So at this point, you kind of see the team take over. Tommy and whatnot, his team, the Japanese forces, move up there. They're trying to help the individual that is hurt. It is a little girl. So from there, she may have a concussion or a brain injury because she's kind of out of it. The horse ends up rearing up. They end up shooting the horse, killing it, and saving the life of the girl that is there as a refugee. From that point forward, they continue to move down the way, but we do have a cutaway to where it shows a group of bandits, and then at this time there is going to be a girl with an axe. Her name is Rory Mercury. She is the apostle of the Emloy god of darkness. So this individual ends up killing the bandits that are in that area. I don't know if she was hunting them for whatever reason, or she just goes around killing people. She's a very interesting character. She's more dark and more I would say flirtatious, and kind of does some funny things in this episode. One of them, she ends up meeting up with the cavalry. That's basically all the refugees that are leaving. She ends up getting in the Jeep with Tommy, and then from there is kind of like rubbing on his lap because she wants to know how the car operates, and he's freaking out, and the whole Jeep's just kind of rocking. So it was a comedy moment. It was pretty funny. It was still innocent, but you could tell what they were aiming to do there, and it made me laugh. Now, at this point, later on with the dragon, we actually get to see the dragon swoop in, and they actually have an interaction fight with the dragon. When this happens, you kind of see them shooting at it with machine guns, a 50 cal machine gun that's mounted on one of the Jeeps, and then obviously the handguns as the dragon's roaring and lighting stuff on fire. So basically the bullets aren't really doing anything, neither is the 50 cal. It's not penetrating. At this point, the elf girl, which we later find out her name is Chaka Luna, I can't even pronounce the last part, but Chaka wakes up and she goes ahead and tells them to aim for the eye, but she's saying in a foreign language that they don't really understand, but she just keeps pointing to her eye. At that point, they aim for the dragon's eye. They start shooting it. It kind of starts freaking out a little bit and rearing back, and then from there they shoot a rocket launcher, but they end up missing somehow a little bit. When it's like off target, they hit a bump and it kind of shoots out. This is where we see the girl with the axe, the battle axe. She jumps, she throws her battle axe and then creates a shock field because she has some type of special powers. when that happens, you see the ground break around him. It keeps the dragon where it's supposed to be at, and then the rocket drills it in the right arm. It appeared the animation wasn't the greatest. I mean, it was still really, really good, but the angle they showed, I don't know if they blew the dragon's arm off, but the dragon ends up retreating. Essentially, I guess we'll find out later, because it did not kill the dragon. At this point, a lot of people were killed. You kind of get an emotional scene with some flowers, with some floaty, kind of like lightning bugs type thing going on. And they basically say that, you know, all these little kids, they can't take them to the next village because there's not going to be really anybody to take care of them. So at this point, Atama basically makes a decision that he's going to take them with him back to the refugee camp. So they ride back to the refugee camp, going forward, and that's where essentially they show up, and that's where it ends. That's where the next episodes is going to start, is when they get to the camp, the encampment, and then go further from there. So overall, this episode's pretty good. You kind of get introduced into two new main characters, the mage girl, Lily, and you also get introduced to Rory Mercury, the girl with the axe. So they look very interesting. You also got to see the elf girl come awake. Her name again is, let's see here. I just lost it. Give me one moment here. It is Chuka, I believe is how you pronounce it. So from here, you get to meet her, and see her develop. So 3 main characters are introduced. I'm assuming these are going to be main characters. One's a wizard. One's I've seen artwork of being an archer, and the other one is more of a warrior type or a battle axe wielder. So that's kind of cool. You're going to get the three kind of classes with that. So once we have those 3 established, I'm curious to see how they conform into the actual areas of where they're going. I'm curious to see how they react and how they treat the actual situation. That would be something that's going to be interesting, obviously. I also want to see how they're going to be treated going back to this camp, and what they're going to be doing essentially going forward. So very lots of interesting stuff. I'm still highly into this anime. I do recommend it. This episode was just as good as the other ones that I've been watching. So we should be able to see more and more going forward of great anime episodes. As long as it wasn't rushed or anything like that, we should be fine. Other than that, if you guys like this video, feel free to like it below. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more anime recaps. I will also be doing Let's Plays in the future. Again, if you're going to comment down below, make sure you tag everything with a spoiler in case people are watching this video and they have not seen the actual episode yet. We don't want to over spoil anything, even though I do recaps. I label my videos. Anyways, I will see you guys next time.